And with me now in the studio is Amjad Salfiti. He's an international lawyer and chairs the UK chapter of the Arab Organisation of Human Rights. Thanks so much for coming into the studio. How significant do you think this upgrading of Palestine's status is?
Well, it certainly is symbolic for the time being. However, it is taken further in that the Palestinian membership is endorsed. That would be something that the Palestinians can actually exercise and practice by bringing actions against the occupation by the State of Israel before the International Criminal Court. But at the present time, I'm afraid, at best, it is a very symbolic recognition which entitles the Palestinians to an observant status. I do disagree with your correspondent in that this is an upgrading. The Palestinians did not in the past have any recognition whatsoever before the ICC. It does level it up or bring it in line with what the Palestinian National Authority enjoys before the UN, which is an observer status as a state. Now, there are other ways of looking at this. For the first time, it does sort of indirectly give recognition by an independent body, independent from the UN, recognition to some status for the Palestinian, if you like, authority, in that it's been upgraded to a state grade, and that is an encouragement for Palestinians to actually take this further through negotiations, through membership of other UN organizations, and keep on with their approach to liberating Palestine.
But as it stands, it is largely symbolic, because as I understand it, unless Palestine actually signs up to the Rome Statute, this convention that sounds very complicated, but the Rome Statute, the ICC can't go about doing any sort of formal prosecutions of any crimes that might have been committed on Palestinian territory, which of course is what the Palestinians want. Why hasn't Palestine signed up to this Rome Statute?
No,
what is stopping it?
I second that. Historically, the Palestinian Authority did make an application about 3 years ago. However, it was then done on the basis that there were two governments, that there were divisions among the Palestinians, and that the territory was not properly defined. There was no territory at the time that Palestinians could say this is under our control, and that therefore, as a responsible member state, we are able to be responsible, be accountable, as well as make others accountable through that territory.
They could reapply now.
Absolutely. This symbolic recognition is really preparing the way for the Palestinian state to make an application, because the issue before was, were you a state or were you not a state? Now they're being told, you are not a state, you are a semi-state. However, if you make an application, it will be accepted. The application itself is not the only step that the Palestinians should take. They should thereafter ratify such an application or acceptance of accession to the Rome Statute by ratifying the same before their own legislative council, which, as you also know, this is not functioning at the right time. This has, because of Israeli occupation's intervention in arresting a large number of representatives of the Palestinian National Council, that's not functioning. So there'll be a further difficulty of having the Palestinians ratify this. But until then, no complaint or any form of inquiry can be made on behalf of the Palestinians before the ICC.
Amjad Salfiti, thanks so much for explaining that to us. Thank you very much.